Fubar Radio.
We are now joined on the phones by the very, very lovely Carol Ann Rice. How are you doing?
I'm doing brilliantly, thank you. I would do, wouldn't I? Because I'm a life coach and I should always be happy and brilliant.
I like that response. So yeah, you are a life coach and a personal development expert, I hear.
I am. I help people become their best selves.
Amazing. Well, I'm here in the studio with the very lovely Dino Fetscher.
Hi, Carol.
Okay. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm brilliant, thank you. Really excited to be speaking to you both.
Oh, this is such a lovely little conversation. I feel like I've just called up a lifelong friend and we're going to have a catch up.
Oh, let's have a group hug.
Well, I don't know about you, Dino, but I feel like I'm quite a happy person, and you seem like quite a happy person as well. But I feel like we could all do with a little bit of a tune-up of, how to stay happy. Dino
Absolutely.
and I were just discussing here in the studio how we're both feeling a little bit destroyed after the very heavy Pride weekend. So I think we could do with a little bit of a motivational pep talk and something to keep our spirits up. So Carol Ann, tell us a little bit about how you work with people, and I really want to know some of your best practices for being happy.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much. Not many people know what a life coach does, and maybe about 15, 20 years ago, a lot of people didn't know what a personal trainer does, and it was kind of like only the very rich and millionaires and billionaires had a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And now you can go down the YMCA, you can get your personal trainer, it's affordable. So it's a lifestyle thing that most people have access to, and I think that soon everyone will start to be thinking about life coaching in the same way. You hit a crossroads in your life and you think, I could do with a bit of help, and my family and friends are lovely, but I'm not getting anywhere with this. So you need a neutral, independent person to offer a different perspective, who is fully trained to give you some ideas on how to boost your confidence, feel happier, get clarity. That's the most important thing. Get clarity of what you want from your life and help you set a path for the future to move you along to that exciting new place. And often when we're left on our own, we just go round and round and round in circles, and we can't do it on our own. Family and friends are lovely. They offer suggestions, but they kind of know us too well. So sometimes you need a really kind, unconditionally supportive, neutral person to help you find your true calling and help you to get happier and help you to get more confident in life.
I absolutely love that, and I really love the comparison there to the personal trainer. I have a personal trainer myself, and I think it's our mental health is just as important as our physical health.
It is, and it's becoming more and more interesting that people in the government and society now are not ashamed to bring it up to the surface and say, yeah, I've had depression, or I'm a bit sad, or I suffer terribly with anxiety. And a little thing for your listeners is, if you're feeling very sad at the moment, it's because you're looking backwards into your past.
Ooh.
If you're feeling anxious, then you're looking forwards into your future. So the past is sadness, the future is anxiety. The best place you can be to help yourself is right here, right now, obviously on Fubar Radio, in the present. In the present, because in the present, you're calm, you're peaceful, you don't know what's going to happen next. And if you can try and bring yourself into the now, you are free of sadness and anxiety.
I think that's so very wise, Carol Ann, and I feel like recently I've been having conversations with friends and things, and I've been like, I don't know where my future's going. Maybe you feel this way a little bit as well, Dino.
Totally.
And I guess that's that anxious voice. But I think maybe if you're panicking about your future and things, I think sometimes maybe it can be quite difficult to kind of just go, right, I'm just going to be in the present. If you've got a lot of worries and things.
It's I find it especially in, I guess, your line of work too, but as an actor, it's so uncertain and there's lots of chaos. So it's a real work to stay in the present. So I started doing meditation, which really is actually proving quite helpful. But I completely agree. When you're actually able to be present and realise that those thoughts aren't real, and it's so helpful.
It is. Well, I've worked with a lot of actors, and it's very difficult for them to stay positive and happy when they don't know when the next audition is coming, or if they've got the part, or how long it's going to be before any work comes. And I always say to them, be prepared as if, and then this is for all of us really, be prepared as if something amazing is about to happen. So keep your teeth whitened, keep your muscles toned, keep your hair nice, get out of bed in the morning, eat properly, and have the wonderful expectation that something good is coming, rather than, I'll put everything on hold, I'll just eat junk food, I won't get out of bed, I don't know what's going to happen. Act as if you're ready for your miracle. You're ready, and I love this mantra, miracle find me now. That's my favourite mantra.
Oh, I love that.
So you get up, I love it too.
It's like a spell.
Miracle find me now. So you're walking down the street, miracle find me now, and you start to feel more positive. You're ready to accept good news. You're ready, you're looking good, your teeth are white, you're set for positive things, as opposed to, I'm a bit frightened, I don't know what's going to happen. The other thing to think about is when you look back on your past, even when it's been a bit dark and scary and you were uncertain, things did happen and things got good. You have to remember that when looking forward. I've been here before, I did it then, I can do it again. And remember, it's not lost. The moment, the time, all is not lost. The sun comes out again, the good times roll in, and just keep positive. Keep your eyes on the future. Good stuff is coming your way.
I always like to almost look at life and our experiences and everything as a bit of a story. I know that sounds really, really corny, but whenever I look back at past experiences for myself, no matter how bad or awful an experience is, always trying to, almost as if I'm telling a fairy tale or something, and I'm like, well, what's the positive outcome? Because there's always a positive outcome.
Absolutely, yeah. Even from auditions that you don't get, that really hurts. You always will take something from it. Positive that will feed into the next steps.
This is really important for anyone in life, even if you're going through a hard time. What am I learning? What message is in here for me? And if there's some meaning that I can make from this, nothing is wasted. It's a learning curve. It's a bit of bad medicine, but it's made you stronger. Rather than be the victim of it, I'm getting stronger. Thank you for the lesson. I've learned it, I'm going to move on and start looking to the future. And always ask yourself this, what's the best that can happen rather than what's the worst that can happen? Because I think we're naturally hardwired to be a little bit daunted by the future. But if you just think, well, what's the best that can happen? And I've survived it in the past, I will do again. And whatever happens, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I always use a little thing, and maybe you've heard this before, Caroline, but it's, instead of saying why me, instead say try me. So like when you're feeling down, it's like, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself and look at the victim like, why is this happening to me? Instead I'm going to be like, no, you know what, throw it at me, I can take this, I can take on this challenge. I
absolutely love that. I've never heard that one before.
I like it. I always give a little talking to myself when I'm kind of getting in that mood. I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate here with you, Caroline. Now, I'm not saying I do think this, but do you think, what about sometimes, like a little bit of feeling anxious about the future or whatever? Could that not be a good thing? Like worrying about your future, is that little bit of fear going to push you to kind of get out there and chase those things that you want?
I agree. And the thing is, none of us are ever going to be fear-free.
Yes.
And I was talking to a potential client this morning, and she said, well, it's all right working with someone like you, but after a few weeks of not working with you, the fear will come back. And I said, yeah, well, that's how human beings are. One of my best friends was captain of the British hairdressing team, and I said to him, James, why is it some people have brilliant hair in the morning and I don't? He said, no, nobody has brilliant hair in the morning, Caroline. We all have to put a bit of effort in.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like everything in life. You'll always have a bit of fear. You might always have to do exercise. You may always have to watch your weight, but that's called having a go, looking after yourself, really wanting the best for yourself. And even if the fear comes every day, start to learn some coping strategies for it. So, for example, I might wake up in a bad mood, but I know that a little run around the park, a nice coffee, listening to positive music, taking time out to meditate will change that mood around in an hour or so.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a zippity-doo-dah mentality that I said every day, like I'm feeling lucky, and off I go. But some days are better than others, as we all know. But if you have some coping strategies to sort of lean on, what can I do? I am a bit anxious. Okay, I'm anxious about the future. That's okay. I've felt this before, and everything's been okay. It's okay to be anxious.
Totally. For me, it's like I need to implement daily work. And so if I'm feeling anxious and kind of lost in the chaos, if I'm working towards, or I write, I'll go and write. I will work on scenes, or I'll go to a workshop or gym or something. So I feel like even though you're not physically doing something directly towards a role or career, it's all a part of it. So it feels like you're doing something.
Brilliant. I love that, because you're always preparing. And was it Dame Judi Dench said recently, she's in her 80s, she's still got stage fright.
Yeah.
It doesn't go, but what you do is you manage it.
Yeah.
And not think there's something wrong with you because you're feeling a bit anxious about something that's coming up. Yes, we all do, but manage it and just think, well, that's that feeling I get, and I'll be okay.
Do you think an awful lot of our sadness and anxiety and all the rest of it comes from like comparing ourselves to others? Because it's interesting there, like with what you were saying about Judi Dench. I think we would all look to her and think, oh no, she it just comes naturally to her. She doesn't have to try. She's got it easy. And I think when we look at other people as humans and realise that they're struggling as well, I think that's my biggest flaw, is constantly comparing them every single day.
Thing. In a negative way, do you mean? Like, as in, it makes you feel bad.
Yeah, like I look at a guy on Instagram. Why is his body better than mine? Why is that guy more successful than me? Why do they have a relationship? You know, all these things.
Well, your lovely little mantra, why me, try me. Try this one, compare and despair.
Compare and despair.
As soon as you compare yourself negatively with someone, you lose 100% of the time.
Ooh.
So you got that's a big one, isn't it? So if you know you're going to lose 100% of the time, please stop doing it. So there's always going to be someone fitter, blonder, thinner, better looking, richer, younger. That's life, you know. Stop doing it to yourself, because you diminish yourself and your own greatness that way. So say you're on the Thames and Philip Green pulls up with a 300-foot yacht, and then some Saudi sheikh pulls up with a 400-foot yacht.
Yeah.
Philip Green's going to think, oh, my yacht's not up to much. Because he's comparing in a negative way. He might have all the jewels in the world, all the riches in the world, but if you start thinking, but I haven't got as much as that person, suddenly you've reduced yourself.
I do often try and take myself out of it a little bit and just look at myself in isolation and be like, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this.
Exactly, yeah. Or like, focus on your achievements. That's what I tend to do. I'll be like, well, hang on, I've done this and this and what with these people, how amazing. So easy to forget all the stuff you've achieved and accomplished when you're looking at what you don't have. Yeah.
That's such a good point. So I ask my clients to keep what I call a Big Me Up book.
Ooh, I like that.
You like this? Go to Paperchase, Ryman's or Smith's, wherever your favourite stationers are. Buy a lovely book, but it can't be like a ratty old book. It's going to be a book you're going to keep for a long time.
Okay.
And you start to write 50 to 100 really amazing things about yourself.
Just like in a list?
A list, and it's just simply things like, I look good in navy. My friends say I'm a loyal, good friend. I'm a good listener. I bake a good pasta dish. I always show up. And start, there's 5. I always smell nice. People say this about me. And every time you get a compliment, write it down, because as humans, we forget our good stuff. And then we think, oh, this old thing, or I don't look so great today, I'm not so hot today. Look at your Big Me Up book, keep it in your wallet, or your bag, or your top pocket, or wherever you take with you, and write down these good things to remind yourself of who you really are, all the good stuff about you.
I'm obsessed with that
that's
idea.
So you just like keep writing in it then?
You keep writing it forever and ever. And when I have my diary in December and I start to transfer my notes over to my new paper diary, in the back I write a good 50 to 100 things that people have said about me. And I've got it in front of me. It's things like, glamorous, articulate, magical, generous, warm, and things that people have said to me. I put it in the back. So when I'm having a wobbly day or I'm not feeling so wonderful, I look at the back of my Big Me Up book or diary and think, oh yeah, that is who I really am. Not this feeling a bit fat because I drank too much wine last night. Hair's not gone just there. No, I'm this essentially, and this is who I am, and I mustn't forget it.
Well, Caroline, I've got one for your book. I feel like you've really, really lifted. Not that I was in a bad mood; I was in a good mood already. But you've really, really lifted my spirits. I think you naturally have that, and obviously, I mean, it's your career, it's your profession, but you have that real impact on myself, and I'm sure Dino feels the same.
I'm smiling madly. So.
We weren't put here to suffer. We were put here to be joyous human beings, happy people. And happiness is contagious. Pass it on. Make someone else laugh and you will feel really good. You know, really make it your intention each day to find your bliss. And because happiness is like a petrol tank, it does go down, and we start thinking, oh, I'll look forward to that party or that holiday or that nice thing that's coming up on the horizon. But here's something for you and your listeners. Happiness never turns its face away from us. We turn our face away from it. And what I mean by that is, it's like oxygen. It's right in front of you. You decide whether you take a big breath in and say, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm going to have a good day, or you breathe in dark thoughts, dark clouds, spooky, cobwebby things. So make it your intention to find your happiness each day. Every hour, think of something that you might build in. So I call them bliss points. So my first bliss point is my cup of tea. Then it goes for my run around my park. That's the next bliss point. My cup of coffee when I come back. A lovely shower. My products. I light a candle. I do my meditation. So every hour, I've got something that I'm mindfully looking forward to and loving. Not just the big holiday, the new car, the lovely purchase. Every day, you can have 10 to 15 moments of absolute joy if you build them in.
Oh, I love that.
You love it, yeah. And you mindfully love it. Like, I'm going to love my cereal this morning. I'm going to love my coffee. I'm going to love walking around the park or the garden. But really, truly being in the moment and loving it.
Well, I'm taking that away from you as well. You've given us some amazing lessons here. If people want to follow your journey, if people want to see more of your work, where can they do that?
Well, I'm on. You can look me up, Carol Ann Rice. I also train life coaches, people to become life coaches. I have an academy, and it's called Pure Coaching Academy.
Wow! And
I'm on Instagram, Carol Ann Rice. Obviously Twitter, but just Google me, Carol Ann Rice, life coach, and I'm there. And if you sign up to my newsletter, I give away all these sort of tips every week as well.
Well, amazing. Then everyone listening should absolutely go and sign up to your newsletter.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Carol Ann, you have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for lifting our spirits. Thank you for lifting up the spirits of our listeners as well. You've been amazing.
Well, you've been lovely too, and really, really lovely people to talk to. Have a lovely evening.
Nice to meet you, Carol Ann.
Bye, Carol Ann.
Bye.
Bye. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
She was so
cute,
so nice. Like,
really
I genuinely
nice.
feel like you've got a big smile on your face.
Yeah.
I think I do as well.
You looked at me at one point, and I was just looking at you like.
Well, let's have some uplifting music, I think.